Yo, look, your podcast audio is mid, just okay at best. And it's probably because you're not using these 7 plugins. I'm ProducerBenFord. Let's get to it. I have 7 audio plugins that are going to take you from zero to hero in terms of your podcast audio. You can get away with bad video and good audio, but you can't do it the other way. A video with bad audio is just not going to get watched, right? You could turn off this video right now and just listen to my audio, and you'd be quite content with this podcast. Before we get started, I need you to like, subscribe, and share it with the podcast community. This is going to help you and the people around you have audio that competes with the biggest podcasts on these platforms. Note, these plugins are not cheap, but they are buy once, cry once. Once you get these, you won't need any other plugins to get your podcast sounding amazing. And you'll be able to use them across all the DAWs. That means Pro Tools, DaVinci Resolve, Logic, Reason, Reaper, Motu, whatever you want to use it in. Hold up. I got a friend named Brett. He's a no pressure, good deal throwing dude over at VintageKing.com. His email's below. He'll hook you up. All right, let's get back to it. So number 1, this is the Waves NS1. I would always recommend starting your vocal chain with this plugin. The Waves NS1 is a noise suppression plugin. It's a one knob. It's very easy for you to use. So if you have that background noise, that air conditioner, that air in the middle, that heavy breathing, it will highlight your voice in a way that the user only pays attention to that. There's NS1 on this one right here, and I got great microphones, great preamps, and a great camera. I'm just saying. The next one, Waves has also come up with this plugin called Clarity. Now, Clarity uses machine learning algorithms to hone in on your voice and actually isolate it from whatever else is in there. And if you know about frequency, there's a spectrum, your voice is on it in a certain area. It's pointing at that and it's saying, this is what the listeners want to hear. It's also one knob, makes it very easy for the user that is not sitting there trying to use all these other plugins that I have to do the same thing. Number 3, you want to add some harmonics, and there's something that people are used to hearing, and it's called the 1073. You can get versions of it from Neve. I personally use the UAD plugin, Neve 1073X. It's a preamp, technically. If it was an outboard piece of gear, it would look like that thing over there. And that plugin, just by putting it on there and giving it a little boost, and then turning on the EQ, it brings out a whole nother life that your listeners are used to hearing. That's the key, right? Your listeners are used to hearing this sound. This is going to help you. It's going to add some harmonics that you may not necessarily be able to hear right now. But if you A/B it, on and off, you'll start to notice, there's a little bit of a presence that's brought out by this 1073. Number 4. So the 1073 has an EQ section, but I personally like to reach for the FabFilter Pro-Q 3. This is the most, hands down, I think I can say this, hands down, this is the most flexible equalizer that exists. There's no frequency you can't touch. There's no frequency you can't cut. There's no frequency you can't dive into and change and make listeners enjoy properly. Number 5. Now, I wish 5 was next, because if I could just use this plugin, it would take away all the S's, and it's a Pro DSER from Fab Filter. I'm trying to give you as many S sounds as possible so you can hear the way the normal S without the DSER would be piercing your ears. But with the DSER, it compresses that S just enough for your listeners to still appreciate what you're saying and not be annoyed by the S that they're hearing. Now, number 6, every once in a while, you're going to get audio from somebody you're interviewing that may not be in the same place, and their audio is going to be trash. And you've used Waves NS1, you've used Waves Clarity, and you just can't get it clear because there's an echo, or some will call it reverb. And Waves has done a really good job with this plugin as well. They're using the same stuff that they used in Clarity to hone in on your vocal and pull out all of the reverb in the room. It's called Waves Clarity RX. This is gonna be an optional plugin if you have trash vocals or if you have terrible audio that you're trying to fix. This is gonna help you. If not, you don't need it. We can go right back to making sure right after the DS that we're gonna add another plugin. This is number 7. Now, this is the plugin that kind of glues everything together. It keeps the vocal present for your listeners while letting you have some dynamic range while you're talking. and it's called the LA2A. Now there's many versions of the LA2A. They got Waves versions, Slate versions, UAD, and many, many others. I personally use the UAD Silver LA2A, but I also have interchanged the CLA2A from Waves. Yes, I'm talking about Waves and UAD the most because that's what I use the most, right? Like, I mean, I could use the compressor from FabFilter, but that's not what I want to use. I could use it, but I don't want to. I like these. These are good, and these will get you where you need to go. All right, so we got a bonus section. You've mixed down all of your audio, right? You did both audio tracks or 3 or 4 audio tracks. You use these plugins we talked about, and now you got to bring it all together into your master bus. But what are you going to put there? What are you going to do? Well, there's 2 things you need to do. You need to raise the level and glue it together. You want to make sure that level does not peak across that timeline. You want it to be right in line. You want it to be smooth. You don't want it to cut people off too harshly. You just want it to be nice and smooth like we've had this whole time. What are you going to use? So, in general, because there's other things you can use, I personally would stack a FabFilter Pro-Q 3 to finalize the EQ curve that I need to make sure all the vocals have the proper presence. Then I would drop an SSL G channel. Why the G channel? The SSL G channel is almost transparent while staying warm, which makes no sense, but it works. And what it does in general is glue everything together. So you got this voice, that voice, this voice, that voice. It brings them down just a little bit. And what you want to do when you do it, comment tutorial, and I'll dive into each one of these plugins in videos to come. But SSL G channel, pop it right on top. And once you've compressed it down and then brought it back up to make sure that you had unity in the gain section, if you know what that means, you know what that means. If you don't know what that means, say, I don't know what that means, and I'll type it in there, right? Unity gain. And then I will push it to one more FabFilter plugin, and that's the L2. This thing is amazing. It's transparent, you can't hear it. It brings everything right to where you want it to be. Now, I do have metering that helps me understand where that sound is, and that's from this company, Klangenheim. I probably messed it up. It's like a $13 plugin. It's perfect. It works for me. I know how to use it. You want to learn about it? Let me know. Hey, I've got plenty of podcasts that I've mixed. I mean, technically at this point, I've had over 100,000 downloads of podcasts that I've mixed. And here's the conclusion. You need Waves NS1, Clarity VX, Clarity RX. Then you need a 1073, Pro-Q 3 from FabFilter, LA2A. Boom, vocal channels are done. Mix bus, Pro-Q 3, SSL, L2. Boom. I could have made this video pretty short just by saying that, but I needed to tell you why. I am ProducerBenFord. Thank you for watching. Peace.